It's such a long walk. You have to keep applauding until they get here, otherwise it's weird. There we go.
Start. So when I was a kid, I begged my mom for Air Jordans. Not because of MJ, but because all my friends were wearing them. In the second grade, I bought Transformers, not Go-Go Bots, because at my school, Optimus Prime was king. When video game systems first came out, it was all about the Nintendo for me, not the Sega Genesis, because once again, that's what my friends were into. A few months back, I saw a friend wearing a Gucci t-shirt. I asked him why he'd spend $300 on a t-shirt. He said he liked the Gucci clothes that I wore. Little did he know, I had a peace deal with my wife. I wear some of the clothes she picks out, and I can watch Mad Men and Entourage in peace. You see, friends do help friends discover products. I didn't fully understand the power of social influences on shopping until I started building businesses inside Westfield Mall. While I was running around in malls, Harish was at Amazon making e-commerce happen.
I think we will all agree that e-commerce has made our lives easier. But in the last 15 years of its evolution, commerce has really focused on our needs. The ever-present search metaphor presumes that we only want what we know. And thus the experience has become very solitary, almost like a chore. Well, this is all changing today with Sneak Peek. On Sneak Peek, the first thing you will see is real people looking at real products. This visual proof of people looking at products just like the hustle and bustle of a mall gives us a sense of popularity of the products. Sneak Peek works with aspirational brands in apparel, accessories, premium foods, and hospitality space to curate a selection for you. We use what you and your friends like on Sneak Peek to create a store every single day just for you. Every single time you see a product on Sneak Peek, you also get to see which of your friends have peeked or looked at that product before. Now, like in a mall, when you go to a product and you like it, what do most of us do? We touch and feel it, we read the description, but one thing all of us do is we go over and secretly flip over the price tag. Admit it, we all do it. On Sneak Peek, Peek is like flipping over the price tag. It only gets better though, because every peek drops the price for everyone peeking. It drops it intelligently until someone buys. A user gets limited number of peeks in a day. When you come in, you flip over the products, you peek, and every time you peek, you see others peeking, and you have limited time to make your decision. If you like the price, pick it up, or someone else will. If you don't like the price or the product, you come down on Sneak Peek, and you see a real-time feed of who is peeking. Here you will spot a friend, I guarantee it, or you will spot someone who shares your tastes. I'm Monica, I'm not, but Monica is the person, and she finds a friend's Lauren on Sneak Peek. She likes Lauren from her high school days, and here she finds a product that Lauren has been looking at. This piques her interest, and she clicks on a product. As soon as she gets on a product, in a single click on Sneak Peek, she can get advice from friends, she can share it with her friends, and more importantly, she can see real time which of her friends have been looking at it. This adds the social proof we all need to move us from discovery to purchase. When I find a friend that I trust, then I'm more likely to buy a product. So she's curious because 4 of her friends have looked at it. She now peeks, and she gets a pretty good price, about 60% off. Now in a single click, Monica can buy this, she can pick her size, and continue to buy this. And it all takes one click to purchase a product. Now Sneak Peek works on sneakpeek.com. It works inside the comforts of Facebook, so you never have to leave Facebook to use Sneak Peek. It also works on a tablet of your choice. Like you will see the tablet. Now we launched Sneak Peek with some of our brands as a pilot to test out our ideas, and we had tremendous learnings with it. And I'd like to share some of those learnings with you. First, the users love to peek. And I think the reason for that is serendipity really drives discovery. The fact that I can discover something new is interesting. Second, can we move over to the presentation? Second is that having social or friends data in it really helps people move from discovery to the purchase phase. And that is important. And the third one is game mechanics such as competition and urgency really drive sales. For our brands, we form long-term partnerships, and we help them deliver meaningful sales, which are mostly impulse, and we help them deliver meaningful engagement on social channels. So Sneak Peek is live today, and we are very excited to announce that we have over 100 brand partnerships. In our pilot, we saw over 1 million peeks, and I'm sure you all would love to peek. Go to sneakpeek.com/TC, and we'll credit your account for $10 towards your first purchase. Thank you.
Susan, do you want to jump in?
So tell me how you curate products for a particular consumer.
Yeah, so Sneak Peek works off of Facebook Connect only. Every time you come on Sneak Peek, we see what you and your friends have looked at in the past. We also grab your and your friends' like data from Facebook, and you use that to curate the products. So if your friends have peeked or looked at a product a lot more, it's supposed to bubble up. If you have liked some brands on Facebook, it bubbles up. And every single day, it's very dynamic. So while you're peeking, your curation is happening.
One more question. I don't necessarily share my friends' taste in clothes or accessories. That's not why they're my friends.
Yeah.
So why would that be a driver for me to buy?
I think for some, it sort of depends, because some people, friends do influence themselves. For some people, it does not. I think on Sneak Peek, you will also find people who share your taste based on what they've been looking at. And we start to learn from, if you're looking at other people's profiles, that you are more interested and aligned with those people.
I agree. First off, I love the space. I think discoverability is sort of the next e-commerce problem in trying to curate and get people to know about things that exist that they want. So I love this space. But I agree. I personally think there's sort of two modalities. There's shopping for yourself, and there's shopping for someone else. And when you're shopping for someone else, you're actually shopping for a whole slew of people. So I see use cases where people, well, I'm looking for something for my best friend, but also for my husband, and maybe also my cousin whose birthday is coming up. And those 3 or 4 people are going to have very different tastes and very different styles. And so I understand from a data perspective, while looking at what they look at is the most, the largest signal, I think those modalities of what they're looking at for whom is possibly the thing that you're going to get caught on. And so I'm wondering, how do you address that, sort of looking at not just what they all look at in general, but sort of where it's directed at. And I think you kind of said get advice, but I also think it's more like recommend or push this to this group of friends. I would think that would be a bigger, more important signal to grab. Maybe you do that. I'm just saying that, to me, seems like an important feature.
So I think we do have, I think you have 2 questions. First is, if I buy something for someone else and I don't capture that on Sneak Peek, I cannot use that data. And I think it's a problem for all shopping sites. Now, if they can tell us for whom they have bought it for, maybe we can make a good use of it. Second is, we do have a feature where every time you are on a product, real time, you can send it to a friend. And it posts on your Facebook wall or your Twitter stream as well. So the first part we don't do as well, and I don't think anyone does. It's a very hard problem to solve. But I think having the data of which of my 5 friends and their trust factor on every single page I visit does add a color. And we found that in our data. We have over 1 million peeks in a few weeks. When we show friends and when we don't show friends, the number of peeks on a product when we show friends go up tremendously.
How useful is a product before my friends are on it? So that seems to be one of the problems is you're talking about 5 friends. When my 5 friends are on it, there are 90% of social sites where I don't have 5 non-technical friends who are probably in this room on it. And so how do you get around that?
Yeah, so I think what we do is we use your Facebook likes and your friends' Facebook likes to get started on this engine. And it's an interesting problem that all startups face. And what we are using is existing data that your friends and you have done on Facebook and to start curating your selection.
And you guys need to, sorry, go.
Can I ask, what is the core problem that you're trying to solve?
I think the core problem we're trying to solve is, why do people go to the malls? They go to malls because they're bored.
Okay, so,
Right?
so
We're creating an entertainment experience for people where they come, they find products, they flip through it, they peek, if they like the price, they buy it, and all of this is wrapped around with friends.
How easy is it to cheat?
Cheat?
Yeah, can't I get 20 friends to all go peek at something and then we make a deal amongst ourselves so once it gets low enough I buy it?
Yeah, so I think internet is a pretty big place. All you need is one guy whose value is matching with the price and they buy it, right?
But if I do that a couple times, I'm going to win in the end, right? I'm okay losing twice if I win once on the cheating method.
Yeah, so what we found is that since there's enough people on the internet, there's always going to be somebody who likes the price before you do, and if they buy, you don't get the product. And so on an average in our pilot, where we've seen over 1 million peaks, our products go for about 25% off.
So I was going to say, I very much like what you're doing. The question I have is, you're trying to do so many things. There's like the core of what you're doing, like you may have actually like cracked the nut of how to make Facebook like a shopping experience, but then you've got like 60 other things around it that confuse me around like why I'm buying. So if I'm buying because my friends have looked at it, if I'm buying because my friends recommend it, or am I buying because of the game mechanics, or am I buying? There's so many things going on. Shopping, people like simple.
Right. So I think we highlighted in the 6 minutes too many things, but think of it this way. It's a simple shopping experience where you come, you flip through the products, and you peek. And that's all it is. You come, and every day there is a set of products for you. You flip through them, and you peek. If you like the price, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Right? We just build everything off of social.
But is it the peeking? Or is it the fact that my friends are buying? Like, that's what I can't figure out.
No, I think it is always the peeking.
Yeah.
Right? But the social layer is coming from the top in figuring out which 10 products I show you today. And we believe that is going to be always more meaningful than an editor creating a curated selection for every single person.
I think the peaking is actually genius. I think that's a really nice piece of this. I think it's really hard to base your assortment on what your friends are looking at, because your interest graph or your style graph is often very different from your friend's graph or your social graph.
Yeah, so I think to answer it shortly, we're starting off, we definitely want to iterate on how our algorithms work on curation. And the style graph, I like the idea that interest graph is different from friends graph. It's a starting point for us.
Okay, we're out of time, so round of applause for Sneak Peek. Woo! Alrighty, so we're going to move on straight away to our next startup. Please welcome to the stage from StyleSeed, Melody McCoskey, the CEO and founder of StyleSeed.